This looks familiar, right? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I have the blue version here, and yeah, this is not what you're thinking. This is the Infinix Note 60 Pro. And guess what? Infinix threw in a screen at the back of this device, gave it a battery that literally heals itself, and put in the fastest Snapdragon chipset the Note series has ever seen. The first even. And yeah, they did all that. Welcome back to the channel, my people. My name is Akdown, and today we're going to be reviewing the Infinix Note 60 Pro. Let's get into it. So yeah, the square camera cut on the back is giving the iPhone 17 Pro Max vibes, right? Yeah, but when you actually start going around the phone, it is doing its own thing. The frame is proper metal, matte aluminum with zirconium sand treatment that makes it feel rough and grippy. It doesn't slip, doesn't collect fingerprints, at least as much as the other devices. It doesn't feel like it's going to shatter if you look at it wrong, so it looks solid even if you pick it up. Infinix puts an LED functioning display inside the camera module. They're calling it the active matrix display. So your notifications, the time, the weather, and a little animated character. You can even play games on it, like show up at the back of this phone while the main screen is off. Like a second tiny screen if you think of it that way. I've been showing this to people, and honestly, nobody guesses it's an Infinix. Nobody. There is also a halo light that glows around the camera for notifications. There's the button on the side that's called the one tap button. It has health sensors built into it, so if you hold your finger on it, it reads your heart rate and blood oxygen. Your side button is now your sidekick for your health, you know. Then for colors, we have mist titanium, deep ocean blue, which is what I have here, solar orange, mocha brown, and frost silver. The weight is around 201.7 grams, so think like 5 slices of bread, right? It is solid, but it is not heavy. You will know it's in your hand, and that's a good thing if you live in Lagos. Now, this device comes with a 6.78 inches AMOLED screen and a 144Hz refresh rate. The brightness on this device goes up to 45 nits at its peak. So what this means in real life, if you're standing in the 2 p.m. sun and you need to make a transfer, you'll still be able to see your screen clearly. You won't have to squint or shade with your hand, which is a big deal for everyday use, and a lot of phones at this price don't even pass that test. 144Hz refresh rate makes the whole experience feel smooth. So you're scrolling, you're gaming, you're swiping between apps. It's one of those things that once you experience it, going back feels like, a downgrade. The screen is also protected by Gorilla Glass 7i, which is one of the toughest screen protections on the market. It's not indestructible, but if you drop your keys on it or your phone across the table, it's not going to scratch easily. The borders are 1.87mm ultra slim bezels all around. It looks clean, it looks modern, and it genuinely competes with phones that cost way more. Now, for performance is where things get very interesting. Infinix has put the Snapdragon 7S Gen 4 5G in this phone. This is the first time we are seeing a Qualcomm Snapdragon chip in the Infinix Note series in a very long time. And it is a massive step up. So compare that to the Note 50 Pro that we reviewed. We're talking about 75% faster CPU performance and a 210% jump in GPU power. That is not a small upgrade. In fact, that is completely different, right? It's in a different tier. For context, this puts the phone firmly in the upper mid-range bracket. Things are fast, apps open, switching is smooth, multitasking doesn't make the phone break a sweat. So if you're upgrading from an older Note phone, you will definitely feel this upgrade immediately. For gaming, even if you're playing COD, you're playing PUBG, you're playing Genshin, it all runs clean at like 120 FPS frame per second. There's a vapor chamber inside for cooling, so even if you play for long sessions and the temperature stays consistent, no thermal throttling, no dropping of frames when it heats up, you can actually game on this phone like it was meant for gaming, and I did. So the big square module at the back that we opened with, what's actually in there is a 50 megapixel lens, 1.59 aperture with optical image stabilization. The OIS bit is the important part. It means that the camera corrects for hand movements when you're shooting, so your photos don't come out blurry, but they're still sharp. The wide aperture means it pulls in a lot of light, so even in dark environments, at events, concerts, or you're shooting at night, you're actually getting actual photos and not dark blobs. They're calling it the night master camera. It ends that in testing. I've tried several night shots and it holds its weight. There's also ultra wide for group shots and wild frames. The Infinix will introduce their first Ultra HDR pipeline here, so full chain HDR processing from capture to output. It makes your photos look more lifelike with more dynamic range across highlights and shadows. 4K video front and back with ultra steady mode also comes in this device with a 13 megapixel selfie camera. So for content, for going live, for just having good photos to post, this holds its own. It's not the strongest camera system at this price, but yeah, you will do well with this. There's one thing I will say though, there is no telephoto here. So if you're trying to zoom in on something from far away, you're going to feel that gap. It's not a deal breaker, but it's worth knowing. Battery and charging, this is the part I think matters most for many people. This device comes with a 6500 mAh battery, 10 to 12 hours of active on-screen on time, which means that your phone that you charged last night, you are still going to be able to use it tomorrow afternoon without touching a charger or a power bank. That changes how your whole day feels. It is also 90-watt wire charging powered, so you can go from almost dead to full in about 35 minutes. And then there is a 30-watt wireless charging, which is usually something you pay flagship prices for. So kudos to Infinix for giving us this on a mid-range phone. The self-healing battery is the wildest feature here. Infinix claimed that this battery repairs itself. Every 200 charge cycles, it recovers 1% health. They claims this will make it stay strong for 6 years of daily use. Your old phone's already struggling with its battery after like 2 years of use. That's the problem they are trying to solve with this. This is an industry first, and if it holds up over time, it will be a massive deal for long-term ownership. I'll be watching this one closely because it's tough to really tell within a few weeks of usage, but I'll let you guys know. Now, a quick extra things on this device. You have JBL tuned dual stereo speakers, which is genuinely loud and clear. It's not thin, it's not tiny. Is it the 5200 mAh? Then there's XOS 16 on Android 16 with 3 years of OS updates and 5 years of security patches. Phonak AI comes through here again with the side button for translation, summarizing, and screen analysis. This device also has eSIM support, then the health monitoring like we mentioned earlier. There's a lot packed in genuinely. So, we started this video with a question. Does this look familiar? And yes, it does. That square cut, that build quality, that premium feel, Infinix definitely came with all of that energy in this device. Well, underneath all of that, this is genuinely its own phone. It's the first Snapdragon in the Note series, an actual working display on the back, a battery that lasts 2 days and heals itself, 30-watt wireless charging, JBL speakers, night master camera, IP64 rating. Come on, this phone is it. And it costs $499,000 or around $350, which there's a real argument here for. Not a for the price argument. This is like a real one. This phone competes with things that cost way more than it does. Is it a perfect phone? Nothing ever is. But as a value-packed, feature-rich mid-ranger device that actually tries to be interesting, the Note 60 Pro earns its place on the shortlist. So should you get this if you're around that budget? Absolutely. Yeah, that's the Note 60 Pro review, guys. What part of this phone stood out most to you? Drop it in the comment section, like the video if this helps, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.